One of the things, we'll get straight into the software because you obviously sort of heard about it already, but
yeah, correct.
One of the things that our system has is that we have access to everything in one place. And it just saves, like, we're saving a lot of companies 3 or 4 hours per job, just because if you've got it on a whiteboard and you've got it on paper and you've got it in another place, and it's spreadsheets, it's just like you add up all that time, and the day goes,
100%.
So this is a screenshot of the jobs and how they look, and you can just right click on a particular job and you get access to a job pack of information that you can send the guys and they can see on their devices. You can see all the photos, and that shows like all the photos and drawings you do to start with, and then it also includes all the photos you take during the job, like checklists, pre-starts, handovers, variations. You can see all of it in one place.
Yeah, beautiful.
You can see a map where the job is. You can see a job summary, which is a P&L for each job. So because our system will track all the allocated actual hours versus the estimated hours, we can do quite detailed analysis of where you're losing money or where you're making money on each phase and job. So that's really important. And you don't have to, as long as the guys are putting the data in, you're not having to do anything to get the reports out. Whereas at the moment, if you've got lots of different systems to produce the report, it takes your time to actually do that, to actually analyze the business. So
yeah, that's right.
That saves you a lot. Then we've got all the we have what we call pre-invoicing. So as far as your financial guys concerned, Dave's concerned, is everything goes into the calendar, and then it goes from the calendar into what we call our pre-invoicing area, and then you select which stuff you want to put into an invoice for the month. And then you send it. So do you guys use Xero or MYOB?
We use Myo.
Okay, so as long as you've got account right, the cloud version, we can synchronize the information from the invoice and the customer details from Scaflog into MYOB, and we just match up the chart of accounts, and there's no data entry you have to do into MYOB then.
Okay, beautiful. That makes things a lot easier for the girls.
Yeah. So the other big benefit is we've got search. So you can search the list of jobs for like any job that contains mega. We've got a Google-like search, which searches across the whole system for jobs that contain certain texts. So you don't have to look in specific places. It will search across all the job details. Especially when you start getting really busy. So say if you doubled to 20 a day or 30 a day, and someone remembers something about a job, you can dive into search and just find what it's actually called or what the job number is. And then we've got pipeline. So this is like an electronic whiteboard of where all the jobs are at, and so that one will show new requests for work coming in. Are they ready to measure? Have the quotes been sent? Has it been approved? And you can access all that in the system as well. So search is really fast in our system. The next benefit is faster quoting. So on the right hand side here is what the system looks like when you're doing the quotes. You have phases of work, and then you have all the line items that are particular for that phase of work. So in this one, you've got the east, the west, the panel install, and then you've got one-off charges or weekly charges. And I'm guessing, do you guys include a bit of hire in your upfront charges, or do you minimum hire periods or anything like that?
So we have a 4-week hire period, and then after that it goes into overhire. So that calculates all that for us as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it'll do it'll automatically tell you when they're going into overhire.
Yep.
You can do reports and see what's coming up for overhire. So you can either decide to tell your clients that you're coming up for overhire, or you can just charge them.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, no, that's good.
Whatever way you want to do it. Now, we have some shortcuts. So you can copy the whole quote. So sometimes you might be dealing with 3 or 4 builders and doing a quote for the 3 or 4 builders for the same work site. I don't know whether that happens to you or not. So you can just copy our quotes and then just change the client that you're doing it for. So you might have 4 different construction companies, but you're doing the same quote for all 4. So you can actually do it for the first one and then copy it and then change your rates depending on which builder you want to get the work. But
well, with Maya, we got like templates and stuff like that for certain builders and whatnot. Can we put that into here as well?
Yep.
Oh, cool, beautiful.
Yep. So templates for what? For the
quotes, yeah. So we have so we do all Henley homes. So for instance, Henley's pretty the same, so the quotes always remain the same because we've got set prices with them and stuff. So we have a set template with that with certain terms and conditions. So we have that in MyOb, and then we just go to Henley quote, click that, put in the figure, and it's done.
Yep. No, you can do all that with our system as well.
Yep, awesome.
You can set up templates and stuff. So you can actually have what we call phase templates as well. So I didn't ask you how many, are you mainly resi or are you doing a bit of commercial as well?
Nah, we stay away from commercial.
Okay.
We just do residential.
Okay. But you might do lots of residential for one particular construction company?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can set up templates that can have their pricing rates already set up in a matrix. And then whoever's doing the quoting can't get the prices wrong because
that's right.
The system records what the rates are. So we've got that. We've also got I'll skip over this, but we've got other imports for synchronizing spreadsheets for larger jobs. Some of the companies that we've got on board now in the UK, they do like 150 houses at once.
Yep.
So they would have a spreadsheet that they have to do the tender on.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So I don't know. Do you do any of that sort of stuff?
Not too much. Nah.
Okay. All right. So I'll skip over that.
That's okay.
And we also do gear lists. We can import gear lists from CAD packages. But if you're doing standard house builds, you could do standard gear lists in our system as well.
Yep.
So if you've got some standard set of gear lists, you can actually put those in as what we call kit sets into our system. And then when the guys do the actual planning of the gear, they can pick those gear lists as a requirement and then print that out on the job pack of information. So the yardies can use it to do their packing of the truck and stuff like that.
Yep. Beautiful. We do have iScaff as well that we do use. So
for doing some of the drawings.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing full inventory management with iScaff or?
Not really. It doesn't really get used to its potential, to be totally honest.
No, that's cool. Yeah, most people just use it for the CAD part.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So yeah, your comment about different quotes and stuff, we design the quote for you, so it's custom designed. And on the right here, this is just one of the mock-up examples of a quote. It selects who you're going to send the quote to. This whole format here of how the quote looks can be changed to match the way your templates work at the moment. And you can upgrade them if you want to take that opportunity as well. We can include photos on the quotes as well if you need to. And you can do all that down here as well as attachments and stuff. You can attach PDFs and then we've got you can do multiple templates. You can do special terms. So depending, like you might need to do power sleeving or something like that on some jobs, but not on others. So you can pick and select special terms from a list, and it'll paste the full term in without you having to type it up.
Okay. Yep.
So that saves quite a bit of time in terms of selecting the terms that you want. Yeah, so that's the quoting side. From a financial point of view, you can also see all the metrics of the business.
Yep, which should be good for the boss.
Yeah, so he can see how many quotes were added 2 months ago, last month, this month.
Yep.
How many quote requests are sitting in the system that haven't been quoted by your guys?
Yep.
How many quotes have been sent? Average days to win a job, average days to win a job 2 months ago. So you can see any difference in whether you're winning them quicker or slower or whatever.
Yep.
Then you've got job win rates over the last 12 months, over the last 3 months, over the last last 90 days. Then the number of jobs that have been accepted and are ready to go, how many square meters that equals. So in our system, you can record square meters or linear meters on jobs.
Yep.
And we can tell you how much you've got coming up, how much is in progress, which is pretty handy for seeing just how much gear you've sort of got floating around out there.
Yep. So we get a lot of purchase orders sent to us. Can we put those purchase orders into the system so we know that it's coming up?
Yep.
Yep.
You can put them as far ahead as you like.
Yep.
You've got average dollars per job that you're making.
Yep.
Last month, this month, you can see whether you're getting up and down. So there's lots of different KPIs you can use for the system.
Awesome.
So then you get into scheduling. So there's a monthly view, a weekly view, and a daily view.
Yep.
The monthly view shows you just how much you've got coming up pretty easily and pretty quickly. We can have different colors in the calendar so you can color code based on the team leaders, or you can color code based on the type of work that's been done.
Yeah. Okay.
So it just depends on which way you want to do it.
Yeah.
It's all drag and drop.
Yep.
So you can easily drag stuff around on the calendar. We've got customizable work types. So so on the calendar, you say whether you're doing an erect or a dismantle or a variation, or whether you're, and then you can have work types that are for things like erecting nets or erecting scaffold. You can have different types of work that you're doing on the calendar.
Yep.
So we get into that with you in the whole configuration side of the setup.
Yep.
And so all this calendar stuff is integrated to the mobile apps, and as you get this schedule right, it also integrates into the invoicing, which I sort of talked about a bit before.
Yep.
And the other thing we can do from here is we can publish the schedule, or we can send notifications to staff.
Yep.
So that's really handy. You can send them via email or send them via text message.
Yep. Okay.
Some companies have all their guys coming into the yard first.
Yep.
So depends on just which way you work as to what you want to use in there.
Yeah, well, a lot of subbies. So having those jobs allocated to them and sending a text or an email would probably be the best way to go, I reckon.
Yeah. Then they don't
have a lot of time. The office girls can do that as well.
Yep.
So that's good.
Yep. So the mobile apps, the guys have a simple menu. They got the most of the team leaders just have this on-site menu, so they can look at their dockets, the job phases that they're working on, their timesheets, their checklists, and their schedule. If you've got a bit more grunt and you're a bit more of an operations leader, then you get these other menu options which allow you to see more stuff on. So all this stuff up here doesn't have any financials, but as you become, if you're an operations person, you've got financial stuff.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So really that other stuff up the top would just be for just your workers. You just obviously allocate that to one team leader in a truck, and they'll be able to see that on the iPad, or they can see it on the iPad. Yep. So
they can see it on an iPad or an iPhone or an Android phone.
Yep.
Either way.
And that will just show that what we wanted shown. It won't show the whole month. It will just show that day.
No, we can stop them seeing ahead. And they'll only see the jobs that they have on today.
Yep, that's good. Yep.
So when they go into their dockets form here, they can see it's for Tuesday, the 22nd of June.
Yep.
What they're doing.
Yep.
What phase of work they're doing. Are they erecting or dismantling? And then it's got other information about the team leader and stuff. And then just come over here. This is an extension of that.
Yep.
So you got the scheduled team that's with them, what assets are assigned, so which truck they're using.
Yep.
These buttons here are all security related. So if you don't want them to be able to delete a docket, we can turn that off.
Yep.
They can edit information about the job. They can view a job pack. So they can view the job pack of information on site.
Yep. Which means just like what they need to do and stuff like that, any notes.
Yeah, so it's got, it pulls through all the job information that was set up by the measure up when you first got the purchase order or you first got the job request. You can stick information at that stage that will then pull through the job pack.
Yep, beautiful. And with this section down here with the allocated times and stuff like that, how does that all sort of work?
So we got a couple of different approaches. So the simplest approach is to use the team leaders to add the timesheets in for the guys.
Yep.
And they just click the add button and they pick the guys that are with them. So Biff, Benito, and Alex, and they'll say what time they start, what time they finish.
Yep.
And then it allocates their time to that work. Now, the other approach is to use our clocking system. So we've got a clock on, clock off, where when they get to site, they get the tablet and they take a selfie, they put their PIN number in and it logs them on as being on site at that time.
Yep.
And then the team leaders can then allocate where they worked, which particular piece of work they worked on for the day. So, yeah, we'd have to talk to you a bit more in detail about
on how we want to do it.
Which way you want to do it.
That's cool.
The other thing they can do is they can add checklists. So all your time and all your forms are all in the one place.
Yep.
So they can do a pre-start when they get there, or a task analysis, or a hazard ID check, or whatever you want to call it. And they can take photos. And they get all attached, and then back in the office you can see all those checklists and how they get put in by the guys out on site.
Yep.
And you can set up handovers or variation requests, anything like that you can do from the system.
Awesome.
So that gets into checklists. So this is what you see back in the office. This is the latest checklist. So the ones that have been done the most recently show at the top.
Yep.
And you've got color coding to work out whether, see that pre-start, that's red. So it failed the pre-start. So there was something wrong on the pre-start, whereas the green one means that it was all good.
All good. Yep.
The gray means that it hasn't been, it's only planned at the moment.
Yep.
So we use our whole checklist system for inspections as well.
Yep.
And the system will automatically generate when the inspections are to be done. And so you can see all the planning of.
Awesome. Yeah, because we have two guys that go around and do inspections.
Okay.
So they got to do weekly inspections for one of our builders. So the builders can pay an extra to have weekly inspections. Otherwise, it's just every 30 days.
Right.
So if we enter that in the job, it will automatically tell us when it's due to come up. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. Only for active jobs too. Once it's been,
correct.
Once it's dismantled, it'll automatically stop.
Automatically go away. Awesome. So we don't have to worry about taking off the spreadsheet and whatnot.
No.
Awesome.
And the guys can there's a calendar that is there for the checklists as well, and you can rearrange where the checklists get done on the calendar.
Yep.
So you might do your Geelong stuff or wherever you are. You can do a suburb at a time on a Monday and then another suburb on Tuesday, and it'll generate all the Monday stuff. It'll generate that next Monday on the same list.
Yep.
And you can shift things around, obviously, with drag and drop. But
and when those reports are done, is it easy to email them to?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So as soon as they're completed, and you can set it up so that you email whether it fails or passes. Or you can email any passes, but notify staff if there's a fail, so you can catch it before. It just depends on how you work in terms of transparency.
Yep. And then same with the photos. Once the job's done, you do like obviously a handover sign off of the job. Those photos are taken and that can be sent to the customer as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome.
So this example here, the safe work method statement here, it can have all your photos attached at the bottom.
Yep.
And this is all designed with you as part of the setup process.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Awesome. That's good, because at the moment we're using CodeSafe, waiting for that to come through, which we're having issues with. Then that will come through. We check it. We turn it into a PDF file. We download the PDF file. We put it in a file, and then we use that into an email and then send it to the customer. So it would save, hours on end.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Did you have any questions about the checklists? Any other questions?
That's pretty good. As long as we can do the reports and the on-site stuff, your swims, everything, that's all there. I can see all that. The main one was just making sure that it worked for our inspections, which will. So that's fine too, mate. That's all happy days.
Yep. And do you guys do gear requests from site at all? Or?
Well, we should be. Yeah, we should be, mate. Yeah. So normally for rail, two-plank voids and all that sort of stuff, that would be something we would do.
Yep.
But as for the quick stage, the ground up scaff, that has a gear list that goes out anyway. The only thing I reckon to make that work, there's always leftovers that we pick up.
Yep.
When they're finished, I guess whatever's left over on site, they could put that in the gear list, and then we can go to the gear list we originally put on there and just sort of take that off it, so we know exactly what's out there, if that makes sense. Yeah, that would be the best bit. But that's all happy days, mate. That's good.
Cool. So the next thing was the easy invoicing. Hire is automatically generated. It automatically calculates when over hire kicks in.
Yep.
There's an example of hire down the bottom here. It puts your date range in. It'll say how many days at what rate per day.
Yep.
Also, it calculates percentages. So it's like you might only do 50% of a phase. So the system will automatically bill 50% of the hire if that was part of your process. With your setup, if you're doing mostly your standard houses, I don't think that's going to be required, the percentage side of it. But basically, in this pre-invoicing list, from a financial point of view, nothing gets missed if it was in the calendar. So everything on the calendar sits in this pre-invoicing list, and it doesn't disappear
until it's invoiced,
until it's been done. And as you process through this, the colors change. So once you've processed it to invoicing, it turns purple. And it sticks around for a couple of months in your view. And it just gives you context when you're billing next month. You can see what you billed last month.
Okay.
And from the person who's doing the billing, that's quite handy to know, just to double check that you've got everything when you're doing the current month's billing.
Meaning like the overhire and stuff?
Yeah,
Yep.
overhire, whether you've, some of our clients do deposit charges.
Yep.
And then they'll do 50% deposit and then 50% on erect or something like that.
Yep. Yep.
So it just depends on the type of client sometimes, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. And your boss.
Plus our invoicing can be done daily or weekly. So and synchronized across as often as you like. So it should help speed up cash flow because you can get invoices out there quicker.
Yeah, exactly right. Yep. And it helps the girls make it easier because at the moment, we're doing a lot of paperwork.
Yep. And there's not as much of a mountain to do at a particular time of the month.
That's exactly right. You can see what's been completed. You know it's completed. It's been marked off. So you invoice it. You don't have to ask people and check this up and look for paperwork and stuff like that. So
no, and if you're doing it every 2 or 3 days or every week, from your point of view, you can go into the KPI side of it and see how revenue's tracking for the month so far.
Yep.
And you can see how much of a percentage of last month versus this month you're doing. So
exactly, that's what we need, 100%.
So the next thing is timesheets. So we had a look at the on-site side of things. So then that also flows integrated through to this timesheeting module.
Yep.
And the clockings, all the on-site stuff flow through to this timesheet module. And you've then got the times that they worked from and to, and the different type of time. So you might have contracted work, or you might have day works. And we can have different types of time. You can have sick leave and annual leave and stuff. So you can do all that through our system.
Okay.
You can add lunches to their timesheets if they forget to do lunch breaks. And there's also an approval process in here.
Yep. Now, for this to work, everybody has to have it, correct? So then that will bring the cost up if all the employees have had to have this clock on, clock off.
So the way our costs work is that it's based on staff numbers, not users.
Okay. Yep.
So we just have a flat fee per staff member and another cheaper flat fee per contractor or subcontractor.
Yep.
And it's from $29 per staff member per month. It's pretty cheap for the range of features that we've got.
Yeah, exactly right. We might not do the timesheet because we have a clock on card procedure here.
Okay.
So they have to clock on here.
Okay.
I think for now, this would be something we'd maybe think about down the track.
Okay.
But because there's about 20 staff in total here. So I'm trying to get in board because we're going to stop doing code safe, which is about $300 a month.
Yeah.
I want to try and, even if it's another 300 on top of that, but for what this does, I'll be able to get it on board.
Yeah.
So I think we'll hold up on this timesheet stuff, I think. So,
okay. Yeah.
But it would be good down the track.
Yeah. So like I was saying, there's about 3.5 hours of admin time per job saved.
Yep.
We add about 2 staff members to your team for a fraction of the software cost. So like cost justifying it's, it might be $5 or $6 grand a year for the software, but you're saving 45 to 90,000.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a sort of a no-brainer, and avoiding fines as well with the safety police.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's as relevant for you, but we've got the ability to do the same standard approach for multiple offices.
Yep.
So I don't know how big your boss is on growth and expansion, but we really want to help companies grow.
Yep.
Because we really help companies from the 15 staff up to the 200, 300 staff.
Yeah. Yep.
So we want to help people get bigger because obviously people make more money and the whole business is more valuable. So so with our approach, you can have standard quotes across the 2 branches or 3 branches. You can have it centralizing as well. So you can have one person at one branch doing the work at 2 or 3 other branches, all from one branch.
Yep.
And you can start up a new branch pretty quickly because you don't need as many staff at the new branch that you would have needed to if you were doing it all manually with paper and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, of course. Yep.
So next steps are we get an agreement.
Yep.
Then we do what's called a discovery meeting. We start training. We get your feedback, set up fees. We do data conversions. The discovery is about, we'll meet with you with our support team and training team, and we'll work out exactly what needs to be configured in our system to match how you want to work.
Yep.
And then from that discovery meeting, we'll upload the client data and we send you an email with a checklist of things that we'd like you to send us. And then we try to match that as close as we can. And then we have a scenario meeting where we step through right from the start, right through the billing at the end, how we're going to do, you know, your void decks or your scaffold, and just make sure that we've got the whole process running smoothly through the system before we start. And then, yeah, then we get into support and kicking off. And
okay, yep. So that period could take a week or so.
Yeah, it's that first part is about to get right through to the scenario meeting is about a month.
Okay, yep.
So we can do it quicker, but it means that you have to be able to devote time to it as well. So
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Normally with companies around your size, they don't have a lot of spare manpower.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Management operations area. So
yeah,
you know, we understand that you've got business as usual. So
yeah. But if we do want to fast track it, we can put the time into.
Yeah, you can. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and just things like if we're doing training, turn all your phones off, go into a dark room and do it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
because you can't learn new software and processes if you're answering the phone as well as.
No, that's exactly right. I know that feeling. Trust me.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that's pretty much the gist of it all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome, mate. No worries. All right. Well, I'll show the accountant the website and stuff with all that sort of information on it. I'll get the costs, which you've already sent me.
Yep.
For the people that we have. And then the setup fees and everything like that. So that's all sorted. I know what it does. I know what it could do for the company. It'll be bloody good. So leave it with me, and hopefully I can